So I'm feeling this for my car, and I'm going through a lot of things right now. And so that always makes me want to be encouraged, and in a way, it makes me share encouragement more, even though it may not show in my everyday life in a lot of ways. And I have a lot of things going on in my everyday life. So let me just jump right into it. I've been reading a lot of different books. That's what I do whenever I'm getting like low or depleted. I try to go ahead and infuse some different things into my life, and what that does, it helps me develop a language for the things that I'm going through. And I listen to like a lot of positive radio and different ideas, and it all comes together at one time. um, and let me just cut right through it. One thing I will say is about like the term of being in a dark place, because that's exactly the language that I wanted to use. And I think that I got this part from a radio when they were like saying that if you're in a dark place, it is about the light, right? It's the light that you need to draw near. And I found myself like trying to journal about how I felt, and I felt guilty for even like writing down negativity, because everything in life right now being pushed towards us is all about being positive, positive, positive. And sometimes you're just not positive about what's in front of you. Sometimes you've been through it, you can see through it, and you just don't see the positivity. And the light is not always within us, okay? Not every moment of every day, or there would be no need for any kind of God. If you were just born just sun-shining light, just from birth to death, there would never be a need for a Christ. And I'll just put it that way. And someone had like this funny meme, like, if you don't sin, there'll be no need for Jesus. And it's funny to think that way, but it's true. And it gets away from that whole idea that you have to be perfection, and you have to be positive, and you have to be motivated, and you have to have it all together 24 hours a day for the whole entire year, because that's not the reality of it. The reality of it is that you're going to have to keep picking yourself up. You're going to have to keep changing. You're going to be poked. You're going to be prodded. You're going to be pushed. You're going to be uncomfortable. That is the reality of it. And how do you get through that? For me, like I said, it is through books. And I'm reading this book. I told you guys I don't like the book. And it's all about like this multi-sensory perspective and the splintered personality and the soul. And then it just dawned on me, through other readings and other teachings, that yes, you do have a lot of tools within yourself. You do have a mind, you do have choices, you do have willpower, you do have a soul, you do have a personality, you do have five senses. But then there is something still greater than all of that, because I'm telling you, you can maximize all of your capability in all those areas. You can perfect your soul, you can put on the best personality, you can use your human intellect, and something still doesn't feel right. And that's when there is an opening for something bigger than yourself to come in. And hopefully that is for the positive, which is the light and the peace and the joy of God, and not for the negative. And it's so hard in today's society to really keep that going, because people think that they have all the answers for you. And at the end of the day, they are not creation. They're not what created you. They don't know you. One of the best like little sassy quotes that I like is, the first thing you need to know about me is that I'm not you. I think it's almost impossible for people to remove their perspective when talking about what another person is going through, because they're going to give you advice from their perspective about what they've been through and about how they've done it. And a lot of times that's not what you need. You need something that's going to comfort your soul, your spirit. So I wanted to share that, because that's just the thoughts that I have been having on my mind, just as I am walking through this life. And I'm just being quieter. I'm just being more observant. Like sometimes you feel like that you may need to defend yourself, but the book of Ecclesiastes is so great, because there's a time and a season for everything. And right now it's not my season to, defend myself on everything. I'll let other people show their rightness. And I'm gonna watch and see how they end up. And a lot of times when I do that, I get a lot more satisfaction and a lot more understanding and a lot more conserved energy that I could use for things that are important to me. Because let me tell you something I know, and this is practical. People are coming to you with their agendas. This guy, he said he lived in Vegas for a little while, and he said that Vegas is a great place to meet people with ulterior motives. Right? We are in a world, in a society right now, of ulterior motives and personal agendas that have nothing to do with you. Like nothing. In that book, The Four Agreements, it says take nothing personal. And my favorite quote of all times is, how can I not take it personal when everyone's a person though, right? Everyone's a person though, but you don't want people to take things personally. That's up to you and your maturity to see, how far can you delve into that. And you can kind of suppress yourself, you can suppress your humanity, but at the end of the day, you're still there, and you're going to need something to be there with you. You are still going to have your human feelings, your human emotions, and it will be tested. Mine is constantly tested, and every time I'm tested, I know it for a fact, just from my own life, it's to push me to a better situation. So